a new experiment in GTA 5. Today we will test which car can fly across the entire map using a giant ramp. Watch the video till the end, give it a like, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss new experiments.
Hi guys! As always, your favorite little penguin Koki is here with you.
And a new experiment where we'll test how far jet-powered cars can fly across the entire Grand Theft Auto 5 map using a giant ramp. And specifically for this experiment, today I've prepared only the fastest jet-powered cars, all vehicles with turbo boosters. And I'm sure that today a huge number of cars will make it to the finish line, crossing the entire GTA 5 map. Today we have supercars like Lamborghini, Bugatti, Ferrari, even the Batmobile and a mini rocket. So make sure to watch the video until the end, leave a like, and of course subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on new awesome experiments. But I suggest we don't waste any time and start testing our super cool collection of jet-powered cars right away. By the way guys, on this channel we don't just test jet cars, but all kinds of supercars. Here, for example, are some supercars. We have a few of them today as well. But only a very small number. We also test SUVs, monster trucks, so be sure to check out the new experiments. Last time we tested supercars in this experiment with you. Today we have only jet cars. I suggest we don't waste any time and start right away with our jet bike. This is the Oppressor. It features a built-in mini turbo boost and its wings can fully extend. So it's almost like a mini airplane. We can basically just fly around on it. Okay, let's go. I'm stuck. Okay, fine. Maximum acceleration. Let's speed up. By the way, we can also use the boost and see what this bike is capable of. But actually, it's not that fast. I thought we'd accelerate on the bike and fly straight to the finish line. But apparently not. This bike really isn't super fast. But the most important thing is, do you know what we can do? So it would seem, okay, let's open the wings. Look, first of all, we're flying like a real airplane. We're gliding. Normally a regular bike would have already fallen somewhere over there, around the port area. And it would have flown, well, maybe 1,000 meters. Right now, you and I can easily make it to the city center without even using turbo boost. Can you imagine? That's exactly why I like jet cars. Because with them, you can actually fly quite a long distance. Especially if we could imagine really having wings just like these. The most interesting thing is, look, I still have turbo boost. You can activate this ability just one single time. And I'm going to make sure to use that single opportunity very, very wisely. Very smartly. Look, we're flying past. By the way, there's the city center. Maze Bank, the tallest building in GTA. And it seems like we're already falling. Oh no, I don't have enough speed to make it to the finish? Well, we collect ourselves, go up, activate the boost, fly over the construction site and make it. Well, more or less to Vinewood. See over there, that's Mount Vinewood. By the way, that's the middle of the map. But something tells me we won't really make it all the way to Vinewood. And 3 and 2 and 1 and that's it. The car lands. As soon as I touch the ground, I can't press the gas or the brake, that's it. As soon as the car stops, that's definitely a result. We didn't make it across half the map, but overall it's a pretty decent result. Alright, let's keep going. Next up is Formula 1. And by the way, you might ask, it doesn't have acceleration, but it does have a turbojet engine. So, more or less you could count this car as a jet-powered one, I think. Even if it doesn't have that kind of visible turbo boost. Because first of all, just listen to how it sounds. And secondly, how it accelerates. That's what I like much more. This car is really, really fast. It's going about 300 or maybe even 400 kilometers per hour already. And by the way, I think that's actually quite disappointing. I thought this car was incredibly and exceptionally fast, but I think it's just that we're still flying. But it's only about 500 meters here, not even 1,000 meters. This is going to be the absolute worst performance result today. I thought the Formula would fly much farther, but it turns out it didn't. Well, here we are, right in the trash, and we'll just leave it in this perfect parking spot. Of course, I expected that we'd at least make it to the city center, but oh well, we're not upset. It's no big deal. We still have a whole bunch of rocket cars left, and I suggest we start right away with the real Rocket Volta. By the way, these are two cars, Rocket Volta, and on the right, that fiery one is Scramjet, both cars from GTA 5. So in the standard game without mods, these cars are available. Can you imagine? The game is already, 13 years old. So these cars were first invented 13 years ago. That's absolutely mind-blowing and incredible. They were real geniuses. And this Rocket Voltic is actually exceptionally fast. Look at that, I honestly like it more and more each time. By the way, the cars are getting more and more powerful. So make sure to watch the video until the end, because the most powerful cars in the collection are at the very end. Did you see that? Those are real rockets, honestly. I think they'll easily make it to the finish line. By the way, we're falling right into the ghetto area, but don't forget we've got turbo boost. Let's activate it and head straight for the city center, please. Come on, come on. Let's see if we can make it to the city center. I think so. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, almost. Right onto the bridge and... yeah, we were just a little short of the city center, literally 10 meters, but okay, that's not a bad result considering we parked right on the highway somewhere. Okay, that is not a bad result at all, but I really think the next few cars should go much farther. Well, now we are moving on to a real Scramjet. This one really looks very powerful, like some kind of high-tech car from the future. And by the way, it already has 2 turbo boosters. Look, bam, perfect. That means the acceleration should be twice as much. Twice as powerful, so let's activate it. Oh wow, it can jump too, that's right, I completely forgot. Okay, so it can jump. This is the perfect combination. Now we're going to jump and just fly straight into outer space with our powerful turbo boosters. Let's go. Let's activate the boost right away and see what this car can do. By the way, it's flying really high. Look, there's our ramp. And we're landing perfectly. But I think there's one problem. The cars in GTA are far too light because they are essentially jet-powered vehicles. They're specifically designed to fly, so we can't even manage to reach the GTA area at all. Seriously, that is really quite disappointing, to be honest. I don't even know what to say. In a situation like this one, you could just jump and fly even farther. Alright, I am only joking with you. Let's count the previous result and forget about this car. And continue forward to test the next vehicles. It's good that all our cars today are jet-powered. Well, there are still a couple of supercars, but just look at this Bugatti Bolide. It seems like a supercar, a regular one. Well, not exactly regular, okay, not at all regular. The Bugatti Bolide, the real deal, but... just look at this, what is that? Whoa, I think I shouldn't have activated the turbo boost. We're just flying away. Oh, that's bad. That was a really bad idea. 100%. I wonder, what result is that? 0 meters. Or -1, -100. Okay, attempt number 2. I think this car is pretty fast and we're going to activate turbo boost right away and go for maximum acceleration. Now this I already like. With each try, you can really feel that the cars are getting better. There is one little problem. Just look at how it is spinning and twisting around. I am really just being blown away by the gusty wind. Look, the wind is blowing in the completely opposite direction, the other way. I do not think we are going to fly very far at all today. Oh, it's really hard to control. Easy, stop. Okay, we have turbo boost. I'll try to activate it. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Well, yeah, it didn't really work out, and the car is really just spinning and twisting right in the air. Look at that. Pim. But at least look, Vinewood is below us. We're already flying to the middle of the map, so that's only half of the collection. And after that, the cars should be even more powerful. And we're already at the middle of the map. That can't help but make me happy. A perfect landing. Ta-da! Right into the bushes. Well, we parked perfectly. We flew over half the map. This is 100% the best result so far today. By the way, we also have a supercar today. Let's go test it out and see what it's capable of. By the way, they also have turbojet engines but no boosters. So the cars themselves are fast, but they don't have any boosters. But still, look how quickly it accelerates. This is a Ferrari, by the way. I don't know which one, some kind of Ferrari coupe. But it really accelerates very quickly, even without a turbo booster. Wow, look how far it flies now. At these speeds, we should at least land somewhere in the city center, more or less. But it's actually really cool that the cars accelerate so incredibly fast, and most importantly, they're exceptionally aerodynamic. I mean, if the car is far too heavy, it will simply fall down right at the start, no matter how fast it is. If it's too light, the wind will blow it away and it won't fly very far either. So we need something in the middle. For example, like this Ferrari. It lands right in the ghetto area before reaching downtown. Again, we don't make it all the way, but that's okay. Overall, the result is pretty good, considering this car doesn't have turbo boost. Well then, let's keep going. So, what interesting things do we have here? These are real Lambos with turbo boosters and McLarens. I really like this one, and oh my goodness. Whoa, this Lamborghini has some kind of incredible extra boost. Look, as soon as I press the button, it accelerates forward right away. So in addition to the main, it also has an extra acceleration, though it actually works somewhat unusually. Apparently the super speed just threw us out, and we end up flying all the way to the port. No, I'm not satisfied with that result. We urgently need a second attempt. Alright, here we are at the top of the ramp. This is attempt number 2. The most important thing is to position the car perfectly straight and just not turn at all. The steering wheel. So we accelerate to the max. 1, 2, 3, perfect. So far everything is going perfectly. Let's go. Oh wow, guys, even without any turbo boost, we are flying a really long distance right now. And if we activate the turbo boost right now, look, it's gonna be just incredible. We're about to go into space on this. We'll take off in this car. It's a shame, of course, that this car doesn't have infinite turbo boost. Although, who knows, maybe the next cars will have infinite turbo boost. And by the way, I found the problem with this Lambo. It flies upward, not forward. And that's why we land more or less in the center of the city. We're flying straight toward a skyscraper. So this car actually turned out to be really heavy because of the turbo boost. It just drops like a stone. That's exactly what I was talking about. We almost landed right on the skyscraper, but at least it was perfectly in the city center. But up until this point, we haven't had a car that could fly any further than Vinewood. And honestly, that really disappoints me. Well, let's keep going. This is a McLaren. And by the way, I think it also lacks turbo boost, which is a bit disappointing, although what's so disappointing about it, it seems to me that today some supercars have actually performed even better than the jet cars. And this one, I want you all to take a close look at what we have here. It is just incredible to witness. You guys really need to see this. This car should be able to at least make it to the middle of the map. It accelerates really fast. The only real question is, just how heavy or light is it? Honestly, from what I see right now, I can already feel that the car most likely won't make it very much further. Honestly, I thought that if we were testing high-speed jet cars, nearly every one of those vehicles would make it to the finish line. But no, it turned out not to be the case. If a car doesn't have an infinite turbo boost, they're more or less the same, and sometimes even perform worse because the turbo boost makes them heavier. And so we fly straight into the ghetto district, and after that, our McLaren unfortunately doesn't make it at all. Honestly, I'm actually surprised. I thought today our jet cars would be flying across the whole map one after another, but it turned out not to be the case. This is actually very interesting because I'm sure that in the end, the cars, 100%, they have to make it to the finish because with each round the cars just keep getting cooler and cooler. Just look at this Lambo. Instead of a turbo booster, it has a rocket on the roof. How is that even possible? Well, okay, it's really unusual, and most importantly, the car is super fast. We're taking it with you. Maximum acceleration. Whoa, 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 now this I like a lot more. The car is super... This is... How is that possible? Did we just fly off in the opposite direction or what? How does this work? That was amazing. Apparently the speed was just too high. Okay, we'll accelerate as much as possible and then slow down a bit at the end, right here, so we don't fly off. And now... Now this is something I really like. Look, it honestly seems like this is the very first car that can easily make it all the way to the finish line. By the way, it's starting to spin and twist, but I'm already above the ramp flying. And I haven't even used the turbo boost yet. Can you imagine, even without the turbo boost? This car is so overpowered that we're already flying to Chiliad. That's exactly what I was talking about. The further the cars go, the more powerful they become. Okay, let's use the turbo boost and... Come on. No, I think I shouldn't have used the turbo boost at all. I'm just... The unbelievable turbo boost just threw me right out, and looking back, that was probably a huge mistake. Now the car is spinning and flipping wildly through the air, but I think we can definitely count it as having flown across the entire map. Because this is actually the very first car that successfully completed this entire experiment and landed perfectly right at the bottom. I really hope the sharks don't eat us. Wait, stop, hold on, that's a shark right there. That's really scary. Oh wait, those are actually orcas. By the way, if you didn't know this already, there are actually real orcas that you can find in the world of GTA. We're lucky those weren't sharks, because there are sharks in GTA too. Like for such an interesting GTA fact, if you didn't know, there really are orcas like this here. Well, we've flown across the whole map and now we're going to test the next cars. Oh wow, by the way, we've got one last car left. Without turbo boost. This is a Bugatti with a jet turbo engine. So it should be incredibly fast, and look, it's actually kind of overpowered. The body of the car shimmers all over and looks absolutely stunning and impressive. But unfortunately, it doesn't have turbo boost, though it's still very fast. Oh wow, just look at that. I think this 100% proves its speed. How many times in a row do we have to fix the ramp? The ramp just isn't used to these kinds of speeds. The cars are actually so fast that they catch on the ramp and just take off. We aren't giving up. Second attempt, full acceleration. Finally, just slow down a bit. Just a little, like this. Oops. Speed is at its maximum again. We're picking up speed. Did you see that? It's like we're riding on rails. I was shaking like I was actually riding on rails. I really love this Bugatti. Look, it has these wing-like things on the sides and I also really like the way the bodywork reflects in the light. Honestly, we don't fly that far. If we had turbo boost, we could have made it all the way to the end of the entire map, but for now we're landing right around the Vinewood area, which is roughly half the map. We're flying through on this super Bugatti, so meanwhile we have only 5 cars left. I'm curious to see what they're capable of. I suggest we start with the mini rocket. Although it's not even a mini rocket, it's a real rocket on wheels, honestly. And by the way, it also has turbo boost. Let's see. I think these are the type of cars that should reach the finish line. We're accelerating to the limit. And now this I definitely like. We're dropping speed. And now maximum acceleration. There we go. This is really quite awesome. Look, we're already flying at least to the city center. But there's one thing that stands out. I feel like this car is really just a bit too light. We're using the boost, but I don't think it's going to help us. Turns out it really is way too light. And we're flying right into the city center. So you see, there are some cars that make it all the way to the finish, but this one, well, that's it. See, it's just flying straight up at a 90-degree angle, and we barely made it to the city center even with turbo boost. Of course, it depends on the car, and no amount of turbo boost is going to save you here. Oh, perfect parking. We'll just park our rocket right here in the garage so no one steals it, just in case. And now let's go test the next car. So, the Batmobile, I'm sure it's going to be way cooler because it's heavier, and maybe we'll even have a chance to make it all the way to the finish line. But the most interesting part is saved for last because that's where the real rocket is, and as strange as it sounds, a garbage truck with turbo boost. That one should definitely be heavy enough to fly across the whole map. But first, the Batmobiles. Maximum acceleration, and let's go test it out. I hope we can do it, guys. Leave a like so this Batmobile can make it all the way to the finish line. This actually looks real. Very cool. We can even do flips together. Look, right, left, perfect. And now let's turn on our turbo boost. Let's see what it can actually do. I think it's flying upward, not forward. Seriously. If the previous rocket turned out to be a bit too light, then the Batmobile definitely seems to be far too heavy for this kind of test. I don't even know which cars to test in this experiment so that they can reach the finish line. It seems like the Jet one finally made it. Okay, I've got an idea, guys. In our next episode, we'll be testing cheat cars. Those ones are certain to make it to the finish line. Can you imagine with a super jump or flying? That's a guaranteed completion. So, if you want an experiment where we test only cheat cars, let's get 2 likes, just 2 likes. Under this video, write in the comments which cheat cars you want to see, and now let's go test flying garbage trucks. Let's see what real flying garbage trucks are actually capable of. You definitely haven't seen anything like this before, have you? This is really just an ordinary garbage truck, well, sort of ordinary. It just has turbo acceleration, but otherwise it's a completely regular, unremarkable garbage truck. The only thing is, I think it has... Instead of garbage, there's a turbocharged engine in there, because look how fast it goes. I'm accelerating, this is insane. I think it's even faster than a Ferrari, really. Faster than any of today's Lamborghinis or Ferraris. Oh right, I totally forgot about that, okay. This is attempt number 2. We won't go for maximum speed, let's just carefully slow down, and now... Let's get started. Now, this I already like. Even though I dropped about 50% of the speed, just look at how well this garbage truck handles. Even though it's heavy, it's definitely heavier than the Batmobile. But look at how it flies for a moment. Much farther. I don't know how this works, but that's just GTA for you. If we still had 100% speed, I think we could have made it all the way to Chiliad. We would have flown there with these. But for now, we're landing. More or less past the city center, and now our garbage truck will go on to dump trash at the edge of the map. There's no way it's gonna make it any farther. Alright then, moving forward, we have only 2 cars left, and the guest of the show is a genuine high-speed turbo rocket. Just take a moment to look at its design. I truly think this will be another vehicle that makes it to the finish today, although honestly, you can't even call this a car. It's a turbo rocket. Look at how it accelerates. It even has a boost. Well, you can't go without that. Okay, maximum acceleration. And now we just turn on the turbo boost. And let's count how far we can fly together. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've already flown halfway across the entire map, just so you know. So we probably need about 10 more seconds. If anything, timer. I'd like you to actually count in the comments exactly how many seconds it takes us to get there. Seriously, this is really a rocket. I can go up and down, and honestly, I think that's it. Okay, seconds. It took a mere maximum of 10 seconds to reach the finish line on this powerful rocket. That was truly incredible. And that's another car that makes it straight to the finish line. This is exactly what I was waiting for. These are the kind of jet cars we need. We really did. From the jet collection, we have a total of 2 cars making it to the finish line. Incredible. So cool. And honestly, it was hard to argue that this turbo rocket from the future wouldn't make it to the finish line. It just made sense. Well, here comes a true guest of the show. It is a real powerful Ferrari monster truck. And it's got a jet turbo booster too. Yeah, you might have thought it was just a regular supercar, but no, it also has turbo acceleration. There's just one problem. It's too wide. I hope we don't fly off with the ramp. For now, we'll just drive because this is really dangerous. Okay, I'm going for maximum acceleration. I'm not moving the cars at all. Well, yeah, that was to be expected. Well, the most important thing is we're flying for now, and everything is working out for us. Even though this car is actually really heavy, it's a real monster truck. And you know that all off-road vehicles and monster trucks are really heavy, but still, we're flying and I hope we at least make it to the ghetto area. Come on, maximum acceleration, let's pick up speed, and so far it's going more or less well. Maybe there's even a chance that we could make it all the way to the city center. Oh, turbo boost is activating, come on, it's impossible to control acceleration, let's go. Well yeah, looks like the ghetto area is the farthest we'll be able to reach. But overall, that's not a bad result for such a giant monster truck. Look, check out this semi-truck. Compared to this monster truck, it looks absolutely insane, of course. And most importantly, today 2 cars from the jet-powered car collection actually made it to the finish line. I think that's an absolute record. What? I think I broke GTA. Wait a second, where are the wheels? Why did the wheels just suddenly vanish? What? That's it? I broke GTA? This is really unusual, but most importantly, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss out on new awesome experiments. This was me, as always, your favorite, Penguin. See you again, bye bye.